Fighter controllers are involved in battle management, surveillance and policing airspace. These men and women are the eyes and ears of UK and NATO airspace. While the rest of us go about our lives, this highly trained elite force protects us 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. What they do requires accurate, rapid decision-making under pressure. They are vital to the nation's security. Trained to the highest standard in the world, collectively they are known as fighter controllers. Fighter control sees the big picture. Fighter control's origins lay at the centre of the Battle of Britain with the invention of radar, which enabled the Royal Air Force to give early warning of enemy air raids. Since then, it has had a leading place in military operations. That was then, this is now. As part of fighter control, the E-3D AWACS played a crucial role in controlling airspace during operations in the Gulf, Bosnia and Kosovo.
Javelin check, main. Meters head, Javelin. Javelin 123, need loud and clear.
After the Air Defence Foundation course, I spent 18 months on the ground gaining the necessary experience to gain my combat ready status. After that, I then applied and was successful in being selected to go on to the E-3D AWACS, which is operational and the front line. And believe me, this is the front line.
Javelin check, main. Meters head, Javelin. Javelin 123, need loud and clear.
Straight to clear, proceed to orbit area. Your orbit's clear at 310. You've a similar type working below at 290 coordinated. You'd sit on console for up to 6 hours without being able to get off and take a break. So that's where you've got to be able to say, right, let's just take a step back from the situation for a few seconds and then go back into it. So it does take a lot of concentration.
I am a weapons controller. I control fighters while airborne. Currently, we don't have anyone under our control, so I am making sure that our jet stays inside our approved airspace and that no other jets, civilian or VFR traffic interfere with our approved orbit that ATC has given us.
HF and UHF, so maybe we have any luck.
You know, the flying side is great. I mean, at last, you know, I've got the best of both worlds now in that, okay, I'm not a pilot, but I am flying and I'm doing the job that I've trained to do all my life. You know, I'm not only my combat ready, I'm combat proven, which for me is, you know, fantastic. I do get to travel the world. I get to work with some fantastic people, not just from this nation, but all different nations. And I get to, you know, become quite a master in the field.
If any conflict's going on, the E-3D will be one of the first aircraft to go into the theatre. So we always know that wherever the Air Force goes, we're going to be at the forefront of all the deployments. And that gives us quite a good respect throughout NATO and throughout the Air Force as well.
This is just an apprenticeship. You'll do one tour under here, then go and do something like E3s or one ACC. There really is a lot going on in the branch.
This is surveillance, also known as systems. From here, sovereign airspace is controlled and policed.
No factor.
Black 1, Bandit, southeast 3, heading south, low.
Another fighter joining the fight. Paul Cretchen, tactical. 040 at 8 miles.
Javelin 123, neat, loud and clear, Hamid.
Loud and clear, Javelin 1.
Northern group, turning hot, 02517. Neat, terminate, terminate.
Terminate, Javelin 1.
There is scope, of course, for if you're not switched on, for things to go wrong very, very quickly. So it's really
staying ahead of the game if you can.
We're a surveillance operation, so we're looking for aircraft that are invading our airspace effectively. So by process of default, you know what everything else is, so you know what aircraft shouldn't be there.
I was aware that they required a certain calibre of person. I suppose that was the attraction. I felt it was the ideal way to be involved with an operation environment if I couldn't fly, and I still feel that now. And I'm very glad to be in a branch that does have such stringent criteria for selection, because like anything in life, once you've achieved it, you do feel quite good about yourself.
As a branch, fighter control is expanding into space. Ballistic missile early warning systems and space surveillance track and identify everything that is out there.
We are looking for really high caliber, highly motivated young men and women.
These days, with operations in Kosovo or policing no-fly zones over Iraq, the rules of engagement can be very complex indeed.
The rewards are phenomenal in terms of achievement, and to achieve a kill or to achieve a satisfactory conclusion is what it's all about. Fighter control has in fact developed quite significantly over the last 10 years, where in the past we would have simply controlled fighters. Today we are transiting very much towards battle management and joint operations.
In a situation where we appear to be outnumbered, looking in the region of 1.5 to 2 times outnumbered of our own forces.
It is a crucial role. Senior officers need to be constantly updated on strategy, techniques and tactics. Like any career worth having, it's a permanent learning curve.
They're actually protecting their AWACS, so it's protecting the high-value asset over the back there.
Absolutely.
So today, what we look for in our young men and women is someone who can be responsible for high-value aircraft, expensive communication systems, expensive radar systems, and to be able to manage those systems in a very safe and a very controlled way. That takes a special type of person, normally with lots of confidence, the ability to work well under pressure, to think clearly, and of course to think quickly.
Today's mission is to reassure our allies that we're ready to go from the E3A component to work with the Romanian Air Force and the Control and Reporting Center within Romania.
Rather than based down a bunker or up in the aircraft, we'll deploy into the field anywhere in the world, hide in the field and control aircraft from a hidden location. Our task is also to move at regular intervals so that the enemy, when they do find out where we are and then they task their bombers to come and drop bombs on top of us, we've already moved on to a new location. So that is the aim of 1ACC. We play a hide-and-seek game with the enemy.
So I've done a little bit.
We've been on the go now since 6 o'clock this morning. We've moved from our home base, we've deployed down into this area. We're now setting up the C-squared, the radar. We're putting out ground defence pickets to protect us, and we're planning operations for the next day. And it is a long job, and we're going to carry on now for another 3 or 4 hours. So by the time we get to bed, we'd have been working about 20 hours at the moment, and you have to be physically fit, there's no doubt about it. I've been doing this now for 16 years, and in 1ACC they all meet a big challenge. I mean, we all work together very closely as a team, we work very well together, and we get a big kick of seeing it all come together and actually work. And that's, for a job, I think that's just fantastic.
Armed with state-of-the-art technology, fighter control is challenging existing frontiers. It demands accurate, high-speed decision-making.